All right, we've got Darius Taylor here. If you have a question for him, please raise your hand. I'll call on you. Brandon Sudge, we'll start with you. Go ahead.
Hey, Darius, I just want to ask about Candace. Can you kind of take me through how the process unfolded for you guys to add her? And then in terms of your ties with her at Temple, can you tell me some of your favorite memories there and how you guys were able to connect?
How everything unfolded, one was, Candace parting ways with Seattle. So them mutually agreeing to part ways. So my radar went up as soon as that happened. And we kind of knew at some point Cheyenne was going to be done for the rest of the season. So she was, our first choice of someone to go after if she had interest and coming to Atlanta. She's from Tampa, which is not far from Atlanta, so it brings her closer to home. And also it filled a heavy void that we needed with someone that could come in, that could score, had basketball IQ, and someone of her caliber with, as long as she's played in the league, future Hall of Famer, 4 or 5 time, I think 4-time WNBA All-Star. So just her resume speaks for itself. So it was a no-brainer when we needed to add another post player that she was the first choice. It was a no-brainer to look at her as the first choice to replace Cheyenne. And in terms of my ties with Candace, so obviously I coached her for 2 years at Temple University. We won the A10 and made some runs in the NCAA tournament. So I knew her well personally, and I knew what she could bring to our team. And I mean, some of my memories, obviously, that was my first opportunity to coach Division I when I joined the Temple staff in 2004, and to just see her skill level was tremendous. And some of the things I would do, because back then I was still young, so we would play one-on-one every day after practice. And I just remember, me trying to work and push her and make her better. So I would guard her as hard as I could. And she would have to get a certain amount of baskets to be done after practice. So after she's been through 2.5, 3 hour practice, she had to play me one-on-one, and mostly offensively, trying to score over me. So those are some of the memories I remember. And then I just remember her carrying us through the A10 and the NCAA tournaments. Just her, the way she could dominate a game was just it's hard to describe her demeanor. She's just really mellow and really, really calm. But then you look at her stats and she's got, 22, 24 points and 12 rebounds and 4 or 5 blocks. So she was a really good, solid all-around player.
Spencer Nussbaum, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, how you doing today?
Hey, how are you, Spencer?
I'm doing well. So yesterday you said that the team is taking things obviously day by day. So in that vein, could you kind of give us some insight into what you guys worked on in practice today? And is there anything you can see, on the court, even in this limited time, that is going to be different from, how you guys played and how you practiced in the first half?
Well, we, again, I said this yesterday, like us being 12th in defense is alarming. And so we've worked a lot on our defense the last couple of days, transition, half court, and just building every day to get better, to be better at it. And we are getting better defensively. And so that's one thing that's going to change, is us being better defensively. Offensively, we have a lot of weapons still. So we have a lot of options at scoring, and we have players that, are veterans that know how to play. So I don't really worry about the offense as much. There are people that can make plays on our team, and we have speed. And we just can score in different ways and have some versatility. But the biggest change you'll notice is defensively, we will be better.
All right, thank you, Coach. All right, we've got Candice Dupree here. Welcome, Candice. If you have a question for her, please raise your hand. I'll call on you. B. Terrell, we'll start with you. Go ahead.
Hey, Candace, how are you? And welcome to Atlanta.
Thank you.
All right, so I guess my first question is, obviously we're in the middle of the Olympics, and you played for the head coach, Don Staley, back in your days at Temple. What does it mean to you, or how does that feel to see, I guess, someone who you were part of their coaching start, be able to represent the country on this particular stage?
I think it's awesome. You know, when I was in school, she was actually still playing, was the flag bearer for the United States. So as a player, to be able to have somebody like that to look up to, she's, I think, won at every single level. Yeah, for sure. So to see her do as well as she has, especially at South Carolina, and then now for the national team, it's definitely well deserved.
Next question is from Spencer Nussbaum from the Next. Go ahead, Spencer.
Hey Candice, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So obviously, I mean, you're in Atlanta now. I'm just curious, what intrigued you the most about coming to Atlanta? And if you could give us any sort of insight on, what sort of difference you're looking to make on this team.
You know, I want to come in and help push this team into the playoffs. I think we definitely have the personnel to do it. Today was my first day of practice with the team, obviously, and the energy is great. They had some difficulties, leading up to the Olympic break, but I think, it's a great group, high energy. So I'm looking forward to what we can do.
Next question is from Brandon Sudge from the AJC. Go ahead, Brandon.
Hey, Candace, can you speak on your relationship with Darius Taylor that obviously dates back to your time at Temple? And I mean, how much of a pull was that in terms of you having interest in coming here?
I talked to him a lot prior to signing here. Like you said, I believe, coached me for 2 years at Temple. He's a great guy. I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings to the table as a head coach. But he definitely did a great job of selling me on Atlanta. So I'm excited to be here and, excited to play for him.
Sylvia Guevara, go ahead.
Hi, Candice. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Being this team is a young team and also young veterans, what advice do you have for them?
I think the biggest thing is just have energy every single night. You have to compete. No team is easy in this league. Everybody has great nights, and some teams, some nights you're off. But the biggest thing is you got to compete every single night, match every team's energy, respect your opponents. But I think, like you said, we have young vets and much younger players, but they play hard. So I think we just have to find a way to piece it all together. The energy, the schemes on offense, defense, remembering the plays. So work in progress.
Spencer, we'll go back to you. Go ahead.
Yeah, Candice, you're obviously, one of the league's greats across your 16 years in the league. And much has obviously been made about your veteran presence joining this team. I'm just curious if you'd kind of describe what your leadership style looks like and how that specifically is going to work for this team.
I think with this team, definitely putting my voice on things. Most of my career, I've always led by example, and I'll continue to do that here, but also, trying to talk more to these younger players. I think I got a taste of that for sure, playing the 4 years in Indiana, playing with a much younger team. So no different here. I've already talked to, Monique Billings, and she's already asking me questions and trying to pick my brain. So I'm definitely looking forward to it.
B. Terrell, back to you.
All right, so this is a little bit of a fun one. Well, first,
fun for you or fun for me?
I think both. It'll be fun for both.
Okay.
So first, how does it feel to be able to play a little bit closer to family? And then two, since obviously in Atlanta, home of chicken and waffles and all that good stuff, what are some Atlanta staples that you're looking to try that you haven't yet? And why is it Zaxby's?
Okay, so being closer to home is definitely a plus. My littles are already asking me to come up here, and I'm like, just let me get settled. It's only like an hour and 15-minute flight, so I think that part is great. I'll be able to see them a lot more being here in Atlanta. As far as places that I want to try, I don't know. I've heard that Mo is the foodie on the team, so I'll be asking her a lot of questions with regard to what to eat around here. If you have any suggestions, let me know.
I'll be sure to get you a list.
Thank you.
All righty.
And Brandon Sudds, we'll go back to you. Last couple questions here.
Candace, kind of a follow-up. So earlier, you mentioned that it was your first practice, obviously. Like, what type of things were running through your mind? What were your thoughts as you walked into that gym today to have another start? I know obviously you have a ton of experience, but here to have another start in Atlanta.
I was super excited. You know, I know majority of these players just from playing against them for so many years. So wasn't too nervous about that. I think the biggest thing is just trying to learn as quickly as I can, the defensive sets, the play calls, how to run the plays. So I'm glad that we have, you know, a couple weeks for me to spend that time getting to learn all of that stuff. But I was excited. You know, it's a great group. Like I said, they're really high energy, just trying to observe and soak it in and trying to get to know everybody.
And last question, we'll go back to Sylvia Guevara. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. By mistake, I have my hand up. Sorry about that.
Never mind. Then Candace, you're good. Thanks so
All
much.
right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Candace.